In the tranquil gardens of Jetavana, the Buddha sat beneath the towering shade of the Bodhi tree. The disciples gathered around him, their eyes reflecting both curiosity and reverence for their revered teacher. Birds chirped melodiously, blending harmoniously with the rustling leaves in the gentle breeze. The Buddha's serene presence seemed to merge with the natural beauty surrounding him. "My beloved disciples," the Buddha began, his voice carrying the depth of infinite compassion and wisdom. "Life is a path illuminated by mindfulness, and parenting is one of its most intricate and profound journeys." His words drew the attention of every soul present, their hearts yearning for guidance. A young mother named Sujata approached the Buddha, her expression clouded by sorrow and concern. She carried her restless son in her arms, his vibrant energy seemingly unconstrained. "Master, I seek your wisdom," Sujata said, bowing deeply. One morning, while returning from the village, Sudama stumbled. The bowl slipped from his hands, shattering upon the ground. In that moment, shame and anger flooded Sudama's spirit. He stared at the fragments, his heart heavy with despair. "The journey of nurturing begins with your own mindfulness," he said, his tone soothing yet resolute. "To raise a child, you must first cultivate peace within yourself." The pieces of the broken bowl lay scattered in the dusty, picked up a fragment and held it before him, letting the sun's rays illuminate its jagged edges. "Sudama," I said, "this broken bowl is a mirror of your spirit. It reflects your fragility, yet also your potential." A distant memory sparked within the Buddha, a lesson taught by his own experiences. "When I walked along the riverbanks as a wanderer," he recalled, "the reeds swayed to the rhythm of nature's harmony." He turned to Sujata, his wisdom flowing seamlessly. "Parenting requires you to flow like water, adapting to the ever-changing currents." In this moment, I continued, "the bowl's purpose has ended as it was, yet its essence holds infinite possibilities. Observe his energy." "Sujata," he remarked, "through his restlessness lies the promise of growth, like the sprouting of a seed." "How do I begin again?" he asked, his voice trembling with both hope and doubt. "How do I rise from failure?" I placed my hand on his shoulder, feeling the weight of his struggle, yet also the potential within his spirit. Sujata listened closely, her burden lightened by his profound insights. "Speak softly. Even when frustration tempts your voice to rise," the Buddha advised. "Let your tone carry the gentleness of wind caressing fragile petals." His disciples nodded in unison, deeply moved by the simplicity and truth of his instruction. The Buddha gazed at the horizon, where the sun bathed the world in golden hues. "Actions resonate louder than words. Embody the virtues you wish to instill in your child." "To embrace failure," I added, "is to see it not as an obstacle, but as a teacher guiding you forward." "The path," I said, "is not marked by perfection, but by resilience, by the willingness to stand even when you stumble." The Buddha's presence inspired reflection, guiding their minds toward deeper understanding. Even the smallest gestures of kindness teach a child more than lectures carried by fleeting words, the Buddha declared. "Emotions require balance. Akin to the dance of fire and water," he continued. "Do not suppress passion, but temper it with calmness." His wisdom unfolded in layers, reaching the depths of human connection and universal truths. Sujata looked at her son, who now sat calmly on the ground, examining a fallen petal with wonder. Her own heart swelled with gratitude toward the Buddha's teachings. "Master, how can I ensure he grows into a person of virtue?" Sujata asked, her voice tinged with both hope and trepidation. The Buddha placed his hand on his chest, demonstrating the gesture of self-awareness. "Teach him by your example," he said. "Show him that virtue blooms from within, guided by intentionality and inner peace." His voice resonated like an eternal echo, gently enveloping their spirits. A child's growth follows nature's rhythm, the Buddha shared, his words interwoven with timeless wisdom. Impatience hinders the natural unfolding of their potential. Sujata smiled faintly, her soul touched by the simplicity and depth of his counsel. He leaned forward slightly, emphasizing the gravity of his next words. Love is the foundation of mindful parenting, a force stronger than doubt or frustration. The disciples nodded, captivated by his wisdom's unerring clarity. Let your love be unconditional, free from expectations or attachments, the Buddha instructed. Give freely, without fear of loss, and watch their spirits flourish. He extended his hand toward Sujata's son, who approached him shyly yet curiously. Sujata observed the Buddha's interaction with her child, learning lessons embedded in the simplicity of his actions. He gently held the child's hand, his touch radiating both tenderness and calm. Through touch, we convey more than words ever could, the Buddha said softly, his gaze affirming this truth. The gathering shifted as the disciples reflected on their own relationships. Contemplating the wisdom shared, the Buddha's teachings touched universal chords, transcending cultural and temporal barriers. Parenting, he concluded, is a sacred journey, anchored in patience and mindful presence. As Sujata left the garden with her son, her heart carried the transformative power of the Buddha's words. The disciples lingered, their souls enriched by the profound simplicity of mindfulness embodied in the teachings. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the garden. The Buddha's voice lingered like a melody that transcended the boundaries of sound, woven into the hearts of all present. In the stillness of Jetavana's twilight, mindfulness bloomed like the timeless petals of eternal wisdom. The weeds, he added, are like the thoughts of doubt and fear that suffocate the mind, preventing the seeds of growth. Ananda spoke again, his voice tinged with wonder. The Buddha stood calmly among his disciples, radiating an aura of profound compassion and insight. Disciples, he began, his voice imbued with timeless understanding. Trust forms the bridge that connects hearts, uniting parent and child in harmony. The process, he continued, is not swift, nor is it easy, but it is a path of transformation and renewal. Buddha paused, letting the weight of his words settle into the hearts of his disciples. A merchant named Ananda approached the Buddha, his troubled expression revealing his struggles. Master, he said, bowing deeply, my teenage daughter challenges my words and questions everything I say. The Buddha nodded, his gentle demeanor signaling empathy and wisdom. Ananda, the questioning of youth is natural, a sign of growing curiosity and the seeds of wisdom taking root. Buddha turned to one disciple, who had been silent, his eyes reflecting the sorrow of a burden he carried alone. Prakasa, Buddha said, addressing the disciple gently, your spirit bears a weight much like this field. Trust is the foundation upon which the bond between parent and child is built and nurtured. He shared the tale of a father and son who embarked on a journey through an untamed forest. My efforts falter, I struggle to let go of my past, Prakasa continued, his words tumbling out like stones from a burdened heart. Buddha placed a hand on Prakasa's shoulder, his touch light yet grounding. Your struggle is not a failure, Prakasa, but a lesson. Their separation taught the father that trust must replace control, allowing his son the freedom to grow. The Buddha said. He gazed toward the horizon where the sunlight danced upon the leaves, his words echoing universal truths. Ananda, a parent's role is to guide, not command, allowing the child to find their own path. Ananda's eyes brightened as the Buddha's teachings sparked clarity and hope within his mind. The Buddha turned to his disciples, addressing them with his unwavering sincerity and insight. Walk beside your child, pointing out life's beauty and challenges, empowering them to choose their steps with confidence. The disciples nodded, Deeply moved by the simplicity and depth of his instruction, to guide a child, the Buddha continued, requires patience, understanding, and the ability to listen with an open heart. His teachings resonated, reaching the depths of human relationships and connections. Ananda bowed his head, humbled by the Buddha's wisdom and profoundly inspired to transform his relationship with his daughter. The Buddha's words lingered like melodies that transcended the boundaries of sound. Woven into every soul present, the disciples reflected on the teachings, their own experiences enriching the depth of the Buddha's wisdom. The sun climbed higher, casting warmth across the grove, illuminating the world with its golden light. Trust, the Buddha shared, is built not through control but through shared experiences and open-hearted connections. A parent's love is a guiding light, he said, showing the way without imposing the steps. The disciples absorbed the teachings, their hearts expanding with understanding and compassion. Master, does the field ever reach a point where it is beyond redemption? Buddha shook his head gently, the motion as fluid as the breeze that moved through the grasses around them. Nothing is beyond redemption, he said. Not this field, not the human spirit. Even the most tangled weeds can be cleared. The grove fell quiet, yet the Buddha's teachings remained, echoing through the leaves and whispering across the gentle breeze. Another day concluded, but the seeds of trust had been planted, promising the harvest of harmony and wisdom yet to come. Another day, the golden hues of twilight bathed the gardens of Jetavana, and the disciples gathered around the Buddha. The soft rustling of leaves accompanied the gentle hum of crickets, creating an atmosphere of serene contemplation. The Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his tranquil presence radiating wisdom and compassion. My dear disciples, he began, his voice calm and steady. Life is a journey of learning, growth, and realization. His words resonated with the gathered disciples, their hearts open to receiving his guidance. The children played at a distance, their laughter echoing like the melody of freedom and innocence. A farmer named Satyakama approached the Buddha, bowing deeply in respect and reverence. Master, Satyakama said, his voice tinged with both admiration and concern, how do we prepare children for life's challenges? The Buddha regarded him kindly, his gaze filled with understanding and insight. Satyakama, he said, a child's life is like a field. It must be tended with care for the harvest to be fruitful. The farmer nodded, his mind attuned to the metaphor that reflected his own experience and labor. The Buddha continued, weaving his teachings through vivid imagery that resonated with the gathering. A farmer waters the field, removes the weeds, and protects the crops from storms, the Buddha explained. Similarly, a parent nurtures the child, guiding them with compassion and wisdom. The disciples listened intently, their own experiences reflected in the Buddha's timeless words. The children's laughter grew louder, and the Buddha turned his gaze toward them, a gentle smile gracing his lips. Observe their joy, he said, addressing the disciples, for within it lies the seed of potential and the promise of growth. His words carried the weight of universal truths, resonating deeply with every soul present. The disciples pondered his teachings, their reflections enriching their understanding of parenting and life's responsibilities. The ultimate goal of raising a child, the Buddha shared, is to help them discover their own strength and wisdom. Satyakama bowed his head, his spirit enlivened by the Buddha's profound insight. To prepare a child for life, the Buddha continued, is to teach them the principles of compassion and mindfulness. His voice was steady, each word imbued with the depth of his enlightenment and realization. The farmer's heart swelled with gratitude, his eyes reflecting the light of newfound clarity. The Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path are beacons of guidance, the Buddha said, helping children navigate life's challenges. The disciples nodded in agreement, their minds absorbing the teachings with reverence and admiration. The Buddha's presence illuminated the garden, a symbol of infinite wisdom and grace. The harvest of wisdom requires patience, trust, and freedom, the Buddha shared, addressing both Satyakama and the disciples. A child's soul must be given the space to grow, free from fear and doubt. His words resonated deeply, their simplicity magnifying their universal applicability and truth. Satyakama smiled faintly, his spirit lightened by the Buddha's empowering counsel and vision. The children gathered around the disciples, their innocence and laughter bridging the gap between wisdom and simplicity. Teach them by example, the Buddha said, his words flowing like a river's calm yet powerful current. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting hues of orange and purple across the tranquil gardens of Jetavana. Wisdom is not imposed, the Buddha stated, but discovered through experience, observation, and mindful reflection. The disciples contemplated his teachings, their hearts carrying the essence of his timeless guidance. The children's laughter grew softer as the evening deepened, their presence a reminder of life's innocence and purity. To raise a child, the Buddha concluded, is to sow the seeds of a compassionate world, one heart at a time. The disciples bowed deeply, their spirits enriched by the profound simplicity of the Buddha's wisdom. The gathering dispersed slowly, the glow of twilight lingering as a testament to the teachings imparted. Satyakama returned to his fields, his heart carrying the transformative power of the Buddha's words. The gardens grew silent, the whispers of wisdom weaving through the leaves and illuminating the souls of all present. The Buddha's presence remained, etched into the hearts of his disciples and the world beyond. As the stars emerged, their brilliance reflected the eternal truth of the Buddha's teachings. Another day concluded, but the seeds of mindfulness and compassion had been sown, promising the harvest of a brighter tomorrow. The pond teaches us, Buddha said, that starting again does not require a perfect surface but a connection to the stillness within. Jaya and Lila exchanged glances, their hearts touched by the wisdom that unfolded before them, like lotus blossoms opening in light. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.